So this is an interview between Ian Ellis, who is the chair of BMAT, conducted by Sally Bodman, who is the BMAT coordinator of volunteers. And in the background we have the beautiful Salts Wood, which is one of the BMAT properties.
Morning, Ian. Thank you for giving up your time to talk to us this morning about BMAT. What's the background of BMAT? How was it originally founded?
It's all thanks to the Bolton-Monchelsea Parish Council. For over 40-50 years, we've been very fortunate to have parish councils who had the vision and the foresight to think long term and not short term. And as a result of that, they formed BMAT, which was known earlier on as the Bolton-Monchelsea Amenity Trust. It was the vehicle which they used to acquire freehold land, which they could then set aside and ensure that it was never subject to major development pressures.
And were there other objectives that the Trust had early on?
It was primarily to ensure that Bolton-Monchelsea would not be overwhelmed by the outward expansion of Maidstone. We were very conscious, the parish council was very conscious, at looking at Bearsted, Ditton, Larkfield and all the northern parishes where they had been overwhelmed with development. And we knew we had an opportunity of some 40 to 50 years to ensure that as much land as we could possibly acquire could be set aside, and as a result we would be able to create our own green belt, which would enable the rural character of Bolton-Monchelsea to be maintained for the future.
And what was the first piece of land that the Trust acquired?
The first piece of land which we acquired was we acquired Walk Meadow, which is now open to public use and enjoyment. It has been primarily maintained and developed by a long-serving parish councillor, Mr. Stephen Mumford, and it was the first example of how BMAT could create open space for the benefit of the people of Bolton-Monchelsea and the neighbouring communities.
We talked before about the original objectives. Have those objectives changed much over time?
The prime objective of trying to ensure that we limit the outward expansion of Maidstone by taking control of land is still a prime objective, but there are other objectives now. Now that we have the land, we see it as an opportunity to proceed with biodiversity projects, carbon capture by way of making land available for planting young sapling wood, so they become large wooded areas, which are also made available to the general public to actually roam and enjoy.
And climate change is probably the greatest challenge facing us all. So you've mentioned some things there that I presume are the Trust's way of responding to that. Are there other ways in which the Trust is responding to that particular challenge?
We were now entering into various contractual arrangements with local authorities whereby we can achieve biodiversity on our land, major projects, and also which includes rewilding parts of our parish which we have not considered until now.
The Trust has got a few green spaces that are accessible to the community. How do the trustees hope these and future plans are going to benefit local people?
Well, we already have about 3 or 4 quite large areas which are open space, which are open to the general public, and that will continue to be one of our prime objectives. It is in fact financed by the residents living in Bolton-Monchelsea, and their return is giving them the opportunity to enjoy these large open spaces. We're very conscious that this land has got to be protected for perpetuity, and the trustees have decided, as a matter of principle, they're going to register most of this open space as common land. Once it becomes common land, it makes it virtually impossible for the land to be ever developed. That's why Hampstead Common, Clapham Common, Blackheath Common have never been developed, because they were always designated as common land for the benefit of the people of the areas which they are in. And what is more importantly, it does mean that being common land, it does enable residents and interested parties to have a direct say in how the land is maintained. And one objective which we are very keen to ensure is that residents in the Borden Monchelsea and neighbouring areas have the opportunity to be involved in the development of this land, and that is why the Friends of BMAT has been formed, and we very much hope as many residents as possible become members so that they can contribute to the improvement of this land, and that they feel that they are a part of its development.
So that everyone's engaged
Absolutely.
and contributing.
Yes.
Brilliant. And what does the Trust hope to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years? What are the big things?
We've still got quite a lot of potentially large areas of land to come over to us. We have various option agreements and other arrangements which we have made. We are optimistic that our land portfolio will exceed over 300 acres, which is a large area. We want to ensure, especially with government policy changing towards agriculture, following us leaving the the European Union and leaving the common agricultural policy, that we seize the opportunity of gaining grants and support, which the government is now making available for the furtherance of its green agenda.
That's brilliant. Ian, thank you for your time and for sharing your knowledge and enthusiasm about BMAT.
So, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Sally and Ian. Thank you very much.